Okay, let me ask you something. What if the deadliest spies of the Cold War weren't these guys with guns and gadgets, but women with typewriters? It's a wild thought, right? Well, that is the electrifying question right at the center of the show Ponies. Today we're going to dive deep and unpack its absolutely brilliant first season. It's a story that throws us right into the paranoia of 1977 Moscow, a place where, let me tell you, deception is basically currency, and trusting anyone, well, that could get you killed. So get ready because your idea of a spy thriller is about to be turned completely upside down.
So, let's just get this out of the way right now. Forget James Bond, forget Mission Impossible. Seriously, this is not about some suave super spy with a bunch of crazy gadgets or these huge globe-trotting heists. No way. This is a gritty, psychological thriller, and it's grounded in a world that feels terrifyingly real. It's the story of two, ordinary American women, the kind of women everyone underestimates, everyone overlooks. And their lives, they're about to become the absolute center of a massive international intelligence war.
All right, Section 1, not your typical spies. We're talking about two overlooked women in Cold War Moscow. So our story kicks off right in the heart of the Soviet Union. Picture it, a city just wrapped in secrets, constant surveillance. And it's here that we meet our two main characters, Beia and Twy. They're working as secretaries at the US Embassy. To pretty much everyone, they're just background noise, the administrative staff. And they have absolutely no idea that the very thing that makes them seem so insignificant is about to make them the perfect players in a very, very deadly game.
So, what makes this whole thing just so compelling? It's our two leads. I mean, they could not be more different. First up, you've got Beia. She's just arrived in Moscow, she's whip-smart, speaks fluent Russian, and is so cautious. I mean, she analyzes every single angle before she even thinks about making a move. And then, you have Twy. Man, Twy is just a force of nature. She's streetwise, fearless, and so hilariously blunt. She's the kind of person who would totally start a bar fight just to create a diversion and somehow walk away without a scratch. They are complete oil and water, and right from the start, their dynamic is this brilliant, chaotic clash of order and, well, pure unpredictability.
Okay, on to Section 2, from grief to espionage. It all starts with a mysterious crash and a radical proposal. So you have to understand, their lives are pretty ordinary, right? Embassy parties, paperwork, and that's all about to be just shattered. And the thing that kicks it all off isn't some dramatic recruitment speech in a smoky room. Nope, it's a sudden, violent tragedy. And the official story they're given just feels wrong, It's that hollowness that pushes these two women out of their grief and straight into the shadows of espionage. And man, their world unravels so fast. It all starts in December 1976. Their husbands, who are both CIA agents, are on a mission, and it goes horribly wrong. That same night, Beia and Twy get the news. Their husbands died in a plane crash. That's it. No details, no bodies, just a big wall of official silence. But then, back in Rhode Island, Beia finds something, a cryptic clue her husband left behind. It hints that something is seriously wrong with the official story. That clue takes her all the way back to Moscow, where she and Twy get this just insane offer from the CIA. The question they're asked is basically, what if you finished the mission your husband started?
And this is where we get to the whole concept of the show, the title itself. They're asked to become ponies. What's a pony? It stands for persons of no interest. Think about it. They're supposed to be ghosts in the machine. In the 1970s, in this super patriarchal world of espionage, who's the KGB looking for? They're looking for guys in trench coats, right? They are not looking at the secretaries typing memos. And that's their power. Their power is their invisibility. The exact same bias that has probably held them back their whole lives, it's now their greatest weapon. It's brilliant.
So, Section 3, a deadly game begins. We're talking about their first mission and a very dangerous adversary. And just like that, the game is on. They get new cover jobs, a crash course in spycraft, and suddenly, Beia and Twy are not just grieving widows anymore. They are active field operatives, and they've basically been thrown into a shark tank with, well, pretty much nothing but their wits to protect them. Their very first assignment is a total baptism by fire.
So, what's the mission? Well, it's a huge gamble, and the stakes are global. First, they have to meet this Soviet double agent, this mysterious guy codenamed CK Solar. The intel he has could literally tip the scales of the Cold War. But here's the catch. They have to do all of this while evading this ruthless KGB agent, Andrei Vasiliev, who is just brilliant and seems to be one step ahead of them all the time. They're in a world where any ally could be a traitor. Every friendly face could be a mask.
And this is where we see their crazy dynamic just ignite. Their very first operation. The plan is to meet Solar in this crowded, noisy pub. You can practically smell the stale beer and smoke. And then, the worst possible thing happens. Andrei Vasiliev, the KGB agent, walks in. The mission is about to completely fall apart. Beia freezes up. I mean, who wouldn't? But Twy? She just improvises. She creates this massive, chaotic diversion that gets literally everyone in the room to look at her. And that chaos gives Beia the perfect cover to use her fluent Russian and deliver the coded message. It's in that moment you realize, oh, this isn't just a chaotic duo. This is a powerful, perfectly balanced weapon.
All right, Section 4, Unraveling Lies and Deception. The subtitle here is Nothing is What It Seems, and that is an understatement. So just when you think they're kind of getting the hang of this whole spy thing, boom, the rules change. That simple mission they were given starts to completely unravel at the seams. And what they find are these threads leading to a much bigger, much darker conspiracy. The whole reason they're doing this in the first place, that whole foundation starts to crumble.
So the first big question that pops up is this. Was the plane crash actually an execution? You see the first crack appears in the official story. A source whispers a name. A piece of evidence just doesn't add up, and this terrifying idea starts to form. Suddenly, the plane crash looks a lot less like a tragic accident and a lot more like a targeted hit. And that just opens up a whole new can of worms. Who wanted their husbands dead, and for God's sake, why?
And if that wasn't bad enough, the next question is even worse. Was one of the husbands a traitor? As they dig deeper, the trail starts pointing inward, at a betrayal that's just devastating. Evidence starts to suggest that one of their own husbands might have been a double agent all along, and his treason might be what got them both killed. I mean, this just makes everything so much more personal and painful. They're not just looking for justice now, they're trying to figure out the truth about the men they were married to.
Then there's the mystery of CK Solar himself. Who is this guy? We learn his real name is Sasha, and he is just a total enigma. One minute, he's risking his life to save Beia. The next, he's spotted having a secret meeting with a known KGB handler. There's this complicated, tense romantic thing developing between him and Beia, but you just never know where his loyalties truly are. Is he their savior? Is he going to betray them? Or is he just a master manipulator playing everyone against each other? And the conspiracy just keeps spiraling, pulling in all these pieces of the past they never even knew about. Beia finds these hidden audio tapes that her husband made, and they reveal all these secret operations. Then things get even riskier. She brings her own grandmother to Moscow, using her family's history in Belarus as part of this really complex cover story. You see? This isn't just a political chess game anymore. It's getting deeply personal, all tangled up in family history and secrets that have been buried for years.
Okay, Section 5, the explosive season finale. We're talking twists, betrayals, and one heck of a shocking cliffhanger. So all of these tangled threads we've been following, the lies about the crash, the hunt for a mole, the whole mystery with Sasha, it all comes together in this just absolutely explosive finale. It's the final showdown, where every single thing Beia and Twy have learned is put to the ultimate test.
So, the final confrontation plays out in these 3 stages. First, they manage to infiltrate Andrei's secret facility. This place is basically a vault of blackmail material he uses to control everybody. That leads to a massive shootout and a crazy car chase through Moscow. And against all odds, they do it. They actually capture the supposedly untouchable Andrei Vasiliev. But just when you think they've won, the entire game gets flipped on its head.
So, back at the embassy, a fire breaks out in the secure communications room. And then we get the twist. This was no accident. A seemingly harmless employee at the embassy? Turns out they're a deep cover mole. They started the fire as a diversion, a cover to help Andrei Vasiliev escape. The mole they've been chasing, it's not just one person. It's a whole network, and it is still active.
And just when you think, okay, there can't possibly be any more shocks, the show hits you with the final, most devastating blow of all. The entire reason they started this whole thing, the grief that pushed them to become spies, it was all based on a lie. But Gaia's husband, Chris Grant, is alive.
I mean, the aftermath of that revelation is just seismic. It leaves us with so many terrifying questions. Chris Grant's death was faked to manipulate everything? So what has he been doing? Andrei's back out there, and you know he's going to be more dangerous than ever. The true mole network inside the embassy is still a total mystery, and Sasha's loyalties? Completely up in the air. I mean, who is pulling the strings in all of this?
So in the middle of all this chaos, the embassy is literally smoldering. They've been betrayed by enemies, allies, maybe even their own loved ones. There's only one thing left that's solid. In a world that is built on nothing but lies, their friendship. That's the one thing they can count on. It's the only unshakable truth they have left. It's their anchor.
And that leaves us and them with one final haunting question for the end of the season. When every truth you've ever known turns out to be a lie, who can you possibly trust? Think about it. After everything they've been through, learning that the very foundation of their reality was just some big, complicated lie, the question isn't just who they can trust, it's who would you trust if you were in their shoes?